We are live. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your hosts and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
Oh, you know me. Some Tito, some orange, some cranberry juice. Mr. Nick, tell the people what you're drinking and our three things for the show.
Mr. Nick is back to his usual J. Lore Cabernet 7 Oaks Cabernet. As per usual, it's a new year, Nikki. It's our first episode. Happy New Year 2025. Well, Kenny Omega and Adam Copeland have returned to AEW. Ricochet brings scissors to Swerve's house, and CM Punk and Seth Rollins are roasting each other. It is Friday, January 3rd, 2025. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he let it go. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me up another shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
Welcome back in. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, Nicole.
Happy Friday.
You are new here. Welcome in. Hit the old like and subscribe. If you are a regular, we love having you back. Nikki, it's been a week. It hasn't been a week. It's almost been a week. It's been a couple days. It's been a new year. We had our New Year's bash. It was a blast.
That was so fun. Thanks everyone for calling in and chatting up with 3 hours extravaganza.
I know. It was a marathon of sorts. The marathon happy hour. It was 3 happy hours. if you call it that. So we had a blast. We tried out a couple new things. We saw our regulars coming on in. We appreciate you all for joining us. We had a record number of listeners, callers. It was great. Nikki,
yes,
it brings about a new concept.
Oh yes,
we're going to try out here.
Tell the people all about it.
So for 2025, we like to reward our regulars. And as being part of a regular here, we have given out 4 very special briefcases. We're calling them the Regular in the Bank briefcases. And with these briefcases, you can call in as a regular. They will put into the chat, I am cashing in. And these 4 people know who they are. They have been given the briefcases. But you can always get a briefcase just like in WWE. So, or what's AEW's version of it?
The coin,
Token
the chip.
Yes, the chip. But yes, the diamond.
Nope.
Casino
Battle
Royal chips we're fighting over right now. So, but our briefcase version of it, as we do our call-in segment at the end of the night, well, if you feel passionate, if one of these 4 briefcase holders feel passionate enough about a particular topic in the show, they can cut the line and cash in their Money in the Bank or Regular in the Bank briefcase. And they will put it in the chat, and we will see what their point is. They have 30 seconds to a minute to get out their point, and then we kick them off. We do our little rundown clock here. A little Royal Rumble clock, and we run them off.
Ugh.
But before that happens, we will all see a little bit of
Cashing in is Money in the Bank. Therefore, this will now be a triple threat match.
A triple threat match.
Michael Cole is losing his mind. It'll be a triple threat call for 30 seconds to a minute.
Oh my god.
So it's a new segment here on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Ed says, I love that. It looks like Nikki's just finding out this now.
He's explained this to me 3 times. I think I get it. I'm sure all you briefcase kids will come in and explain it to me, but you got a minute, I guess. This is a lot.
It also says much like AEW, there's no production meeting, only Mr. Nick.
Yeah. Yes, I just show up and see what happens.
Basic.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
That's my production value. So yes, this will be a new concept in our show for the foreseeable future. The regular in the bag briefcase. So it could be anarchy. We don't know how this is going to go. This show could go very, very crazy.
Anarchy in the arena, anarchy in the bar match.
Well, I just hope it doesn't happen in this opening segment. It might. You just never know. But it would be the ultimate cash. But so we kick off every show with our newest segment. Well, it's not really. I guess now
Now it's lit. This
regular
is the one thing I got, man. Let me have it. So one thing I'm
Nikki's-
allowed.
Nikki's segment. So we kick it off this week. We're back to it. Nikki's news.
The one thing I'm allowed to do. Oh, well, I think obviously the big news that's happening next week is obviously Raw is moving to Netflix. This past Raw, that's all I've talked about. Their kickoff, all the things. It has recently come out, I think the last 24 hours, that they're actually switching the ring announcers. So Lillian Garcia will be going to SmackDown. She'll be at SmackDown tonight. And then Nick showing her who's usually on SmackDown, Alicia Taylor, who was formerly on NXT, and they did the switcheroo between her and Mike Rome, and now there's a switcheroo between her and Lillian, and then Alicia will be announcing on Netflix on Raw on Monday. I don't know how I feel about it. I like her better than Lillian. I know it's a very unpopular opinion, but Lillian girl. But I feel like she's just trying to be
Samantha Urban Light.
I just want her to find, because I feel like, like everyone tried to be Finkel. And then and then I felt like Samantha found like her own thing. And she had kind of like her own voice. We talked about last week how like the emotion and her crying when Cody won and her Chelsea Greens. I just want something to find their own voice. And maybe her being on Raw, maybe freshening up, maybe she can find that. Again, she's super young. I know she was on NXT and all this coming up. So Triple H seems to have faith in her. I just hope she finds her own lane instead of trying to sound like Samantha.
Yeah, I mean, I know you were particularly like you're better than Lillian Garcia, and now Lillian Garcia is doing the announcing of our cash-ins, which, by the way, so to reiterate, because I saw in the chat, Steven put in the chat has one cash-in, because not to reiterate, but Steve may or may not be one of the briefcase holders. But one cash-in, you put it in the chat, like highlight it in big bold letters, I want to cash in, and then throw it in the private chat too. And then we will have you call in and make the announcement of the cash in. But yes, getting back to the announcing, I think it'll be nice. I think they're just loading up Raw for everything Netflix-wise to just try and take it to a whole other level.
I just think you have to find something. I really love Justin Roberts a lot, and then I was sad when he left, and I love that he's in AEW, and I just feel like I don't think he's trying to sound like anybody. Like, it's his own thing, and I think that's what's... So if she can find her own thing, there's some word, and I know I can't talk, so I'm the one to be saying things, but the way Lillian says championship hurts my brain. And she said something else on Raw that I was just like, huh? But again, I don't get paid to talk for a living. We do this for free and fun. So I don't know. I hope fun things for Alicia. So they're definitely taking. Obviously, we know that Pat and Cole are the announced team. She's there, and I think they're keeping. I don't know if Kathy and Jackie Redmond are switching.
Steven says just use AI.
Oh.
I mean, it's sad, but.
But again, I like Mike Rome on NXT. I was sad that they put him down in NXT because I didn't really watch NXT.
Yeah.
But again, it just sound not try to sound like somebody else, or like now that she did the Chelsea Green thing, now everyone is doing their Chelsea Green thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let us know if you like this, don't really like, or just want somebody else to be an announcer. I do like Chuck Rome, Jim Rome,
Mike Rome.
Mike Rome.
Isn't it Jim Rome a football
Yeah,
thing?
Jim Rome's a football guy.
No, Mike Rome, whose name is Austin somebody, is in NXT. But also apparently and this would be a day for Mikey to be on. The woman who does the ring announcing for TNA, her contract is up, and apparently she's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I not like I watched TNA religiously, but like the things that the pay-per-views we did watch and the things I have seen, like her place doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
So freshening it up, and then like because people are debating how long Lillian's going to be around for, so again, we'll see what she can do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be wrong. But I thought it was. She's Josh.
Jovo wants to be the ring announcers. Josh Alexander's wife.
Yes, I thought so. And they're both of their contracts are up. Rumors are leaving, but rumors is he might go to AEW. So more to come on.
More to come.
But
we will see. Maybe in the next edition of Nikki's News.
I was to say.
But
Not
short one for this night, right, Nikki?
That would be a good thing. I thought. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, no, I was trying to get it to your outro.
I know. You can really tell that we don't do production.
The production.
Because I was like, oh, and then they should have done the
thing with the thing. But
This is why I drink.
We didn't do the thing in the right time, so unfortunately now.
Story of our lives.
Hated it.
Second favorite drop.
Wait, what's your favorite?
My Nikki's News.
Okay. That's fair.
Anyway, Raw.
Anyway, we move along to Monday Night Raw and the takeaways from Monday Night Raw, which we will get to very shortly with the end of Raw, CM Punk and Seth Rollins taking on each other. But earlier in the night, we see Chad Gable. It was basically a culmination of a lot of the feuds from this past year. You know, they're recapping, right? It was the end of the year Raw. So we did see a Chad Gable and Otis match, and Chad Gable goes over on Otis. Is this storyline finally dead and buried? Can we finally move on from Otis and Alpha Academy and American Made and do something more? Like, is that the swan song of 2024 for this? Because I'm over it. I am totally done with this. Let Chad Gable and American Made go on to something else. That was, to me, that was the singles match that Otis got. He's not going to get his comeuppance. They should have gave it to him, whatever it was, when he first turned and pushed back on him originally before he formed American Made. Now it's kind of a moot point. Is this finally over? Are we finally done with this?
I hope so, but after the match, then they had the quick backstage with Rey Mysterio, and Rey was like, "Don't worry, Otis, you'll get him next time." And I'm like, "Next time? No, let it be done." This should have been a disappointment too. Like it was all the will they, won't he? Will Chad resign? He had the magic. It was Clash, right? Clash at the Castle. For the IC, wasn't he going after Gunther? And we're like, maybe he'll win it, maybe he'll win it and he'll stay. He re-signed. And what? You gave him a stable. Like, the Creed brothers everyone was hot to trot on them when they were in NXT. Like, let's move on. Let's go through the tag team division. Eventually, maybe the ones to take them off the War Raiders.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But
I would like it. Like, yeah, where should they go from here? Like, them being tag champions would be nice. Like, if you're going to beef up the tag division at this point in time, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let Gable, who's actually champion? Why am I blanking on this?
Braun Breaker.
Oh yeah. So you keep him away from Braun for a while. I mean, maybe enough time that he can just be the mentor to these tag champions and not hold a belt, and eventually can get himself back in the Intercontinental title hunt again. It had so much promise with this group coming up, and then it was like they were made up just in time to lose to the Wyatts. And it killed me.
Yeah.
It's just like, and he was the Wyatt's first victim, and it was just, ugh.
I just feel like the problem right now, there's too many tag teams that feel like they shouldn't lose. But someone obviously needs to lose, but it feels like everyone's losing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's all 50-50 booking across the board, at least with the stables.
Yeah.
To some extent, which is weird because it seems like Triple H would know more about how to book that because he grew up in that whole era. But I don't know. So where do you all think? We'll put it out the chat. Where do you all think American Made should go from here? What do you want to see with them, or do you think it's just kind of a mute point?
I feel like they're good. Put them somewhere else. Like, again, going after tag team stuff, getting away from Otis. I feel like at this point, then you're going to have to repackage Otis, Tozawa, and Maxine. Did I say that weird? Tozawa. That didn't
You
felt
right.
weird out of
Yeah,
it.
no, I was just thinking about it.
But then they're gonna, because like him coming out to Chad Gable's music is weird. Them with the, like, repackage them, push American Made.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, because Tozawa, yeah, Maxine's improved so much.
But when she did like when she jumped on Ivy and started Ivy Nile. When she jumped on her and started just like punching her in the face, it was pretty good. Like, again, someone that we flirted with to be one of the most improved of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you need to repackage them. You American made this, push this now, and then repackage the other one.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Let us know in the chat below. What do you think about American Made? Where should they go? Where do you want to see them next? Chad Gable. Even if you want to include American Alpha in that.
Yeah, no,
grouping,
you're gonna
what
have
do
to
you wanna
repackage them there.
But yeah. So as we move along into our Raw takeaways for the night, we move into the beginning of the show. It was a lot of just bloodline drama, Drew McIntyre, the Usos, which we'll get to a little bit more, maybe more of our SmackDown preview, but I think more of that to come next week on next week's show, because there's going to be a very Raw heavy show next week.
Yeah, well, I think there's so much that's going to happen on SmackDown. Again, this is the first 3-hour SmackDown. I feel like a lot of things is going to happen with the bloodline. That's going to, obviously, the tribal combat match on Monday. So I feel like next week will be more, it's going to be a very heavy Raw WWE next week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we get towards the end of the night where the big promo, again, they come face to face. Nikki is getting hot and bothered by this, but we see CM Punk and Seth Rollins come face to face, and let's catch a little bit of the end if you missed it of their interaction on Raw.
You are a cancer to that locker room. You are a cancer in my brain. You are a cancer to this business, and cancer does not cure itself. The only way to defeat it is to cut it out. So in 1 week, you bring your fistful of arrows. I'll bring my eyes of fire and my heart full of hate and rage, and I will burn you to the ground.
Burn it down.
So Punk and Rollins come face to face. Do you like those eyes full of fire?
I
or
do.
Or the fistful of arrows? Are you team CM Punk or team Seth Rollins?
I am team everything. Everything about this makes me happy. I know Ed and I were talking about this last week. Like, CM Punk got me because I fell off a little bit, because when you're a girl, you're not allowed to like wrestling. So I fell off a little bit, and my ex at the time was like, "You would love CM Punk. You need to start watching this." I really started watching right after he won at Money in the Bank. So he got me back into it, and then he left, and then like when Seth Rollins was like my guy, so it was like my two people fighting and talking, and I want this match so bad. I want this match to be so good. This promo battle off was fire.
Yes, Steven commented on it. He said it's promo battle of the year. Christopher joining back in. I think he is team CM Punk. Welcome in, Christopher. Hit the old like and subscribe if you're new. We got a bunch of new people coming in the chat, Nikki, so we're enjoying
Love
this
it.
here.
Come talk CM Punk and Seth with us, because I love them. I love them both so hard.
It says, how dare you and Ed talk positively about Cancer Man Punk? Yeah, I get it. Cancer Man, I get it.
I love it. Oh my god, it was so, because he said, I look at I don't know, Eddie, go correct me. But it was like when I don't know, it was when he got fired from AEW, or when he was like suspended, when Seth was doing that interview, and I remember he was wearing a hat, and like he was in like a Canadian tuxedo and all denim, and he was like, I don't want him back in WWE, Phil's a cancer. And he called him Phil and he called him a cancer. So when he said, I didn't get to say this to your face and said you're a cancer, and I was like, he said the thing to his face.
He did the thing. He
did, and there's so many, like, if you talk at the beginning of the promo, there were so many jips and jabs, and like, I don't know if you read one report, they said that this was very, like, not scripted, and I don't know how much I guess take that with a grain of salt, or they really, like, Triple H was like, you kids go at it. Because at one point, he said, obviously alluding to Vince McMahon, and said something about Becky, and you just see in Seth's eyes, he's like, don't you dare. Like, he mouthed, don't you dare. And I was like, ooh, again, like, Mark. But I'm just like, so, like, you know, it's obviously real.
Still real to me, damn it.
And I guess that's their best storylines, and there's so much real and truth behind it. When, like, obviously Seth did look up to him. Punk obviously did leave. He said a lot of shit. Punk said a lot of shit. And now you're back, and now you're trying to be like, yeah, WWE. And Punk's like, Seth is like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And when he was like, oh, you have to be in the trenches, he's like, I stayed in the trenches to start a revolution. That's where revolution happens. So it's just like, and he's like, well, I had, you know, arrows in my back. And then someone on Twitter or wherever said that CM Punk's last shirt in WWE was a fistful of arrows. And it's just like full circle stuff. I don't know. I can go on forever. Chat, Nick.
Lisa is with you on it. Girls sticking together. She's with you. She loves them both so much, but she kind of agrees with what Seth said. Stuff said. Let's say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
Josh is team fantastic storytelling.
No,
and then Joho said Punk left because of Vince. If everything's come out, can you really blame him?
Yeah, and he was, well, that's when he started, because he's like, oh, you took your ball and went home. And that's what obviously Vince said after Austin walked out. And that's what he said when CM Punk walked out. So he's like, what paragon of virtue did you hear that from? And it's just like,
He's a good talker. He knows how
and
to
he's
talk
like, oh, he didn't like, you know, someone telling him no or he's wrong, but he sure loved you. And I was like, like, it's just like all this stuff. It's just like, oh, it's too real, but it's real, but I love it. But and he's like, oh, because he's like, oh, you when Seth was talking to Punk, he's like, oh, you took a boatload of money to go to the competition, and what did that do for you? And then Punk was like, I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to make money, and I'm going to make a boatload of money off you. I'm just like, like, this makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm curious to see what Monday night will yield in terms of like who can go over in this match, because it's going to be probably a trilogy. And who starts off on the right foot is going to be interesting.
I'm like,
because there's so many storylines that are coming to a head on Monday night that it's just super exciting to see. That I think this show, which we kind of knew all along, Raw on Monday night, has been built as a pay-per-view. It just like Saturday Night's Main Event has been on, well, that was on Peacock, but on NBC2. Raw Monday night has been built like a pay-per-view. We expect to do a lot of coverage on Raw for next Friday's show.
They're saying, like, it said, like, Joe Tessitore, which I am going to miss on Raw, said this is supposed to be main. And I really want this to be main, because then you're like, oh, they see that at WrestleMania. There's, like, 3 main events. Like, this needs to be on last. For sure. And I don't know. I feel like Seth should win, but I feel like Punk's going to win. But again, I hope it's, like, a trilogy. And then part of me, like, wishes this was kind of, like, 10 years ago. Like, I want to see, like, prime Punk versus like now Seth, but maybe not now Seth, because he's like, oh, how's your knees, how's your insides?
Seth wasn't in his prime now.
I know, it's just like,
I don't know. Let us know in the chat. Who do you got going in for
right.
Monday night? Who do you think's gonna go over? And
I don't know.
It's gonna be an interesting one. As people are piling into the chat. If you're new in the chat here, welcome in. Hit the old like, and subscribe. As we call it, we hit the old Samoan spike. Haven't done that drop in a while.
I don't know. I want it to be so good. I just want it to be so good. And I'm worried because, like, with Punk coming back, again, like, we talked about this last week about his matches with Drew. The SummerSlam wasn't great. And then the Four Corners match was good. Or is that whatever the order it was? And then, like, Hell in a Cell was great, but also it's a stipulation that is, protects him. I just I don't know. I don't know if you saw Lisa's comment. Is it a no DQ?
I don't think so. No.
Because I don't think, because they have the tribal combat match, and that's technically
I'm pretty sure.
it's a no DQ. So I don't think they would have 2 no DQ matches. I could be wrong, Lise.
Yeah, I think it's a regular singles match.
That's what I'm worried about. Like, it's gonna be some dusty finish, or it's a 30-minute time limit, and then the 30 minutes are up, and they tie. I don't know if that would be stupid. I don't know. It makes me nervous.
Well,
because there's so much writing on this. Again, it's main event, it's Netflix, it's Punk, it's such a big, it's such a long story. It's he's there's no Seth Rollins without Punk, and you can through ROH and FCW, WWE,
Yeah, so we'll see. Let us know, and we'll see on Monday. Let us know in the chat below if you want to call about it. We have our call-in section a little later. We have a special guest calling in a little later. Jersey friend. But we move along. Nikki, we are getting into AEW. We kind of put it into a little bit of Dynamite and World's End. So this is going to be an interesting one as we get to our AEW takeaways. So we're going to go kind of backwards from Wednesday.
You got to go forwards to go back.
Yes, this is new time traveling thing we're doing here. But we go back to Wednesday night where Ricochet is playing a new version of Rock, Paper, Scissors with Swerve Strickland. You're going to go far, kid. Ricochet. Taking the scissors to Swerve Strickland on Dynamite. Nikki?
Now it's just bothering me. I can't think of that song.
The Offspring. You're going to go far, kid.
Oh. I was I know. I started mouthing the words. I was I know this song, but it was throwing me off. That was weird. That wasn't Dexter. Anyways. Yeah, so he comes out looking like we were saying how he looks like an 80s serial killer. With the glasses and the suit. And then he Excalibur was he's got golden scissors. And then he just kind of sort of Norman, whatever his face was, and just
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates. I almost said Rockwell. I was that's the Peter guy. But I don't know, people were freaking out. I was I think Ricochet already turned heel. This maybe cements it, but I don't think this was him turning. I think that already happened.
Right.
But again, he's bullied. It's I don't know if this is the best kind of storyline, but bullied, and it's all right, well, you bullied me enough. Now I'm gonna cut your face off.
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Again, you push him to plugging in my laptop here's not plugged in. I need to do that. Or else we got the juice. But anyway, no, he's been pushed to the limit. He's come so far, coming to AEW thinking his career is going to take off in theory, right? I actually think, a lot of people have been kind of shitting on Ricochet since his AEW debut, and I myself included, because he becomes just another one of the flippy guys there, as good as he is. And the one thing that I do appreciate out of this, and I think it's coming, he's growing on me, is his character growth. I think with something like this could take him to a whole other level. I know he's been trolling people online, him and Samantha Irvin, about why they left, all stuff. Maybe this is all just him and her working all of us. to becoming this crazy heel that, you know, we didn't see coming. Like this Norman Bates serial killer type vibe from him. Like he was the good guy, but he got turned because this audience that should love him, and that he had the first 5-star match with Meltzer and Ospreay. Like that was really what kind of the internet went crazy over. And that started the whole trend of like 5-star matches. And now, like in theory, AEW has so many of these. He should be the person that should be kind of propped up there. And he's been getting this flack and this terrible negative reaction. I love that idea, because the one thing that we said about him, at least I said about him in WWE, it's like he's a bland character. He has no charisma. And I would say that all, like I want to see the charisma. And like maybe this is something, and it's starting to bring that out.
I feel like with the picture that you just had up quickly, he kind of looks like Harvey Whippleman to me.
Huh.
A little bit like the face. I don't know. I'm getting Harvey, you know, maybe less, you know, American Psycho, and a little more Harvey Whippleman. I don't know. Again, like when he just like, after he stabbed him and like, Undisputed Kingdom came out to get, which also I don't understand why Undisputed Kingdom came out to run him off. But then he just like starts like maniacally laughing, and I was like, "Well, that's something." Again, it's because in WWE he couldn't cut a promo.
John's a bald version of Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, the American Psycho. Christian Bale played him in the movie. The book is 1,000 times better and 1,000 times grosser. Apparently they're supposed to be remaking it. I don't know how I feel about it.
So I think in the chat is going nuts about this Psycho thing. His promo will be talking about Huey Lewis
Because
and then John and Steven. Did we just become best friends?
because he murders Jared. I believe it's Jared Leto's character. He murders him with an axe while dancing to Huey Newt. I'm not gonna, you know, you can.
Yeah, Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis and the news, and he does but he doesn't dance in the book, so people get mad about it. Any Hoosers. But yeah, no, I guess. But it's interesting because I don't know if you want to tell them your rock paper scissors thing.
Oh yeah, no, I have this theory that it started out right. They were throwing toilet paper. Swerve Strickland was throwing toilet paper, right, and having everyone throw toilet paper at Ricochet. Then he comes back, and what beats paper? Scissors. But what beats scissors? Rock. So I think either Prince Nana is going to come back with a rock, and there's going to be some sort of rock segment where he gets hit in the head with a rock.
Or
and it'll be the craziest game of rock, paper, scissors you will ever hear of.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, or the actual rock comes on to AEW.
Oh my god, can you imagine? I'd be like, fuck your story.
But what are your theories? What do you all think? Let us know in the
know.
chat below. Do you like this? Where do you think this is going? Could this be a new turn for Ricochet that could take him to another level that we didn't see?
I think the opposite side of it. I think obviously it makes, because for a while it was sort of the back and forth between Swerve and Hangman, who was kind of the baby face, who was the heel, and it's like, well, Swerve went into Hangman's house and put the shirt in the crib, and then watched it. He's like, "Oh, I watched you take your pregnant wife to the hospital," and he's like, "What?" And then he burned his house down. And I was like, "Oh, maybe like so." This like Ricochet attacking Swerve, I think, kind of cements him as more of a baby face, and then he beat up Prince Nana.
Yeah.
So this maybe cements more of a face for Swerve, and then again, I think I don't know. We'll see. I guess this is going to be the match at Revolution.
John thinks it's just dumb enough to be great.
Yeah, but also when we were talking last week, I said Revolution was in January. It's clearly in March. Apologies.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, getting back to the last pay-per-view, we did see two returns to AEW. Two very big returns. Kenny Omega and Adam Copeland returned. If you missed it, let's catch you up because they always come back. Nikki, Kenny Omega will start chronological order. Surprisingly, Kenny Omega returns at AEW World's End, as you see in the video. He comes back in the end of the Continental Classic to hand the Continental Crunchwrap title, as Ed so adequately puts over, to his former foe, Kazuchika Okada.
Uh-huh. And then leaves.
And then leaves. A little showdown and leaves. So I have a lot of feelings, a lot of thoughts. Normally it's ladies first, but I'm pissed off.
Go ahead, Bubba.
Why? Why, oh why would you have the EVP come out and give this belt to Okada, his rival? Oh, okay, you want another big money match? Great, whatever. His company just got taken over, a hostile takeover by Jon Moxley. Why would you come back in this moment and not try and take your company back that you were EVP of?
I don't understand any of this. Him and Okada have an incredible history in New Japan. Obviously, does that translate to in the whole C2 tournament? They kept saying, "Oh, he's the best tournament wrestler, the best tournament wrestler."
Yeah.
Like, who cares? I know. I feel like they're really trying to make this the G1, and it's not the G1. It will never be the G1. So for them constantly be like, he's the best tournament person, it's like, okay, so he won the belt, okay. And then Daniels is like, oh, I'm not an EVP anymore because Kenny's back, and it's like, and then he just hands the belt and walks away. Like
he got cuckolded as VP.
It means nothing. I don't understand. Again, like everything that's going on with the Death Riders, and we're gonna burn your company to the ground. And I'm taking over, and blah, blah, blah. And Kenny's like, Continental Classic.
Yeah, I want to give out the title for the mid-card belt.
I know.
That's what I'm going to do. That seems like a good decision.
Would you put, I'm not going to say the international belt that Takeshita has?
Intercontinental Crunchwrap title?
Well, would you put that higher than the Continental Classic belt?
Yes.
Yeah. So it'd be heavyweight that Mox has, then it should be the TNT, then Takeshi's international, then the Continental.
Yeah, the international is like the European belt from the Attitude Era to me. The Intercontinental title is the TNT belt, and then it would be like the hardcore belt at this point in time. So
what are you talking about? Like, who cares? This makes no sense whatsoever. And then his first match, it's happening in 2 days.
Steven's got a good one. It's the G-Con.
He's trying. Steven.
Yeah, so Kenny Omega returns, hands off the belt, much to our anticlimactic surprise. But that wasn't the only return. We get Edge, Adam Copeland, also Cope. Cope returns at World End because he's got to have a 4-letter name.
Yeah, he literally for Raw, Jesus, for AEW Dynamite, the lower third said rated R superstar Cope, and then Excalibur made it a point to say on commentary that he's going by Cope now. Why? Maybe there's too many Adams in AEW, which I guess okay, but like Cope, I can't get on board with that.
I want someone to be a tag team with him and be called Diet Cope.
Just go back to what is it, Sexton Hardcastle?
Yeah.
Go back to that.
Sexton Hardcastle. There we go.
That was his indie name before he was Edge.
Uh-oh. Someone's trying to cash in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bring him.
All right, hold on. This could be the first. It was the first cash in, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let's get this ready.
Cashing in is money in the bank. Therefore, this will now be a triple threat match.
A triple threat match.
Nikki, you know who's cashing in?
I have a guest, but tell me.
Let's hit the music.
Yeah, Darby Allin sucks.
let's bring him in. Ed, you're on the clock with your cash in. You're running.
All right, great. So listen, I love that he's going by Cope now, right? So the FTRs, their finishers, the Shatter Machine, is their triple threat finisher, like their 3-man finisher, going to be like the coping mechanism?
Ooh.
Like he started his Edge, and now he's Cope. It like is that just like are we just talking about the AEW fan base, like AEW as a whole? Like it started edgy, and now we're just trying to cope to be like, no, this is good. I love it. It's great. What the fuck is this company doing? Like.
Yeah.
What is happening, Nick?
It is. I don't get how
It's
the guy who's saving the company, the 3 guys that are saving the company, are outside of the company.
They're WWE guys. We were talking about this the other day.
yeah.
I have so much I want to say about Dynamite, so I'll pop back in later. But I had to get this out now. Like, what is happening? What is going on? Help!
Yeah.
Well, I know he's very upset. Ed, thank you for joining. Cash in. Put in the chat. Now, this is the rules of the cash in. You have to put in the chat whether it's a successful or failed cash in. Do you agree? Do you disagree with the point? That is how the cash ins are working.
Yeah,
Our
I do.
first regular cash.
Because they're with WB and like the Warner Brothers. I feel like it's like when Wile E. Coyote holds up the little sign that just says "Help" before he falls down the cliff. Like I feel like that's us. Like AEW. Like what are you doing? I don't. Again, we talked about it on Tuesday, whenever life is. Again, the only person that was AEW Ridge was Wheeler Yuta. But again, FTR and Adam Cope coming out, and then he calls him Kid. Like you're really between this promo and the promo on Wednesday. Like they're making me hate Adam Copeland. Like he talks, and I'm just like, he's like, Kid, I was doing this before you had pubes, and it's like, you're really gonna call, like looking at Jon Moxley, you're gonna call him Kid, and it's just like when he's like, I'm the king of this, I'm gonna burn this $2,000, I'm running the thing. He's like, listen here, Kid, listen here, Sonny. It's like, no. And then the promo on Wednesday, because of course it's like the learning tree. Again, it's supposed to be bad. Like that's whole Jericho's gimmick. Like this is supposed to be bad. And then Cope looks at Big Bill. He's like, your face is stupid.
Yeah, that was a great.
And then
promo.
like you're saying like whatever Bad Apple said, and he's like, oh, did Chris Jericho feed you those lines? And then he looks at Big Bill. Your face is stupid. Like what's that? Is that any better than what Bad Apple said? No. And he's like, I'm just like, you're making me not like him. Like remotely. And Lisa, I'm sorry, I know that's your man.
Lisa
maybe
said
not
that
anymore.
AEW is coping with the fact that I'm doing good. That was a good one. We like those cheeky mom and dad jokes.
I love it. It's just like, oh, it's hard. It's like, again, like obviously I know he's older and whatever, but like are you supposed to be face, or are you supposed I sound like Nick, like heel face. I'm like, you're neither of them to me. And it's like, if like, I don't know. I don't like any of his promos. I don't like Edge going after Moxley. I don't like any of this. And again, we say this every week. I want this to be good. I want to watch this and cheer for you because I want competition. I want all the boats to raise all the ships. But God fucking damn it, this is hard to watch. It's hard.
It's been difficult, but again, it's just reversed. If you put Adam Copeland in the spot that Omega was in and they reversed the roles, I think we would have been probably happy with everything. But what's Steven? Oh, that's a good one. Abandon all.
Oh, Steven! Oh, again, we're back to make. Oh, just like, I want this to be good, and you're not being good.
Yeah, but that was basically our big takeaways from AEW this past week.
Yeah.
I know there's been a couple promos.
Yeah,
and
can I just one good thing, because I want to be positive about this. I really loved MJF's promo that they showed that clearly was after World's End. His face is still bloody. He's like laying in the loading dock area, and he also said he is coming back. He's going for Moxley. He's like, Moxley, I don't care. Like you can burn this place to the ground, but I just want Triple B back because I never lost it or didn't lose it fair. I'm like, good, give me MJF Moxley again. I don't want to see him versus Adam Copeland. Or,
Adam
God.
Adam Copeland.
No, I'm saying I don't want to see Cope versus Mox. I'd rather see MJF versus Mox.
Yes. Agreed. Another yeah.
So again, I'm trying to be positive. Go watch MJF's promo because MJF can cut a promo to a paper bag. But it's hard.
I know. Well, let us know in chat below any of your takeaways from AEW this past week, anything we missed upon. If you want to call in of the hour, let us know.
Like Julia Hart came back, her debut match back. Jamie Hayter, I still don't know what they're doing with Jamie. Oh, and also Mariah May cut a really good promo.
Yeah, there's a lot of good
again
stuff in between, but there is still a lot like the main stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of times it's not
there's little glimmers. MJF and Mariah May for a whole fucking company.
Exactly.
Oh, guys, that's why we drink.
So, I know. What are you going to do? But, Nikki, we move along as we are doing good on time.
Crossing the line back.
We're going back over line into WWE SmackDown. Is tonight, SmackDown goes into 3 hours. We're going back into that world where it's very dangerous programming, in my opinion.
Champ.
So, the main match that's listed for tonight is Naomi against Nia. Any thoughts?
Was the belt on the line?
Yes, for the night.
Do you have Tiffy cash in because it's your first 3 hour of SmackDown? Would that? I don't know. You think they pop some ratings? New SmackDown, the first SmackDown of the year. New champy.
Well, I mean that would be nice because like I presume that tonight, right? You're gonna have some more Bloodline stuff.
Well, that's why I'm worried that they made it 3 hours so they can dedicate an hour to the Bloodline.
Yeah, like so, like are they opening like an hour of Bloodline stuff? I mean, there's gonna be an Andrade Nakamura match, and maybe they're trying to do a little bit more with the mid card.
Which they should. And I don't know what it was. Noah? I believe it was Noah. Shinsuke had the match in Japan, and his entrance was so cool. Like, I'm loving this Shinsuke. I'm hoping him and Andrade, I'm sure wrestled before. Maybe in NXT? No, I think Nakamura was called up by then. But I think they'll have a fun match. So I would don't maybe necessarily give an hour to the Bloodline, but again, do something with the United States. Do something with Chelsea Green because Russo had some feelings about her thing last week. Think she's supposed to fight Michin this week?
Maybe. Or
is that supposed to be?
Christopher's chiming in the chat. We'll have a new champion. It would be Tiffany Stratton. Yeah, she's agreeing with you.
Yes, I think that'd be great. It's your first 3 hour SmackDown, your first SmackDown of 2025. Why not put the belt on Tiffy? Because, obviously Bianca Belair is going to be at the ringside. You'll probably have Candice LeRae. Maybe would Bianca kind of help Tiffy? Not necessarily, or just be able to help distract or distract Candice so Candice can't help Nia. And maybe indirectly help? Or do you think it's going to be a straight up she's cashing in and she's going to make it a triple threat? Or is it going to be I don't know. It's not like Naomi, because that's usually the thing. I think when Edge and Punk, and when people cash in, it's I beat you, you got beaten up to your limit. And then I'm going to come in and then cash in.
Yeah.
Do you think it should
be like that with Nia because Nia's
yeah, but I don't see Naomi taking Nia to the limit. And Nia's so messed up that Tiffy can come in and just hit a move? Maybe she just comes and hits the moonsault and wins? I don't know.
Yeah, because it's.
But is there a better chance that she makes it a triple threat, pins Naomi, and then her and Nia confused was oh, you didn't beat me, and that's your match at Rumble?
Well, no, and then Nia and Tiffany have to have a one-on-one. That's it's Nia chasing Tiffany down for a little bit.
Okay, so if you make it a triple threat, she pins Naomi, then Nia can say, well, you didn't pin me. That's your match at the Royal Rumble. And then Tiffy beats Nia at Rumble and then goes to Mania to fight Charlotte.
Maybe. I still
Call
like,
it now, kids.
That's Nikki's call. Steve disagrees. Nia wins. Bianca and Naomi will totally murk Nia. And then out comes Tiffy.
I don't know if I feel like Bianca maybe, but Naomi and Merc.
It doesn't sound like a word that...
I don't know. Again, talking about disappointments, I wanted so much more for Naomi to come back after her, basically excursion. Which is the same on Naomi. I don't know. I think we agreeing that Tiffy comes in tonight? We're just disagreeing on how it happens.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're expecting. Is some sort of Tiffy
has to. I feel like you have to put I feel like we're at the point. I feel like no one. I think eventually they'll have to do it that someone maybe cashes in at Money in the Bank because that's how far you can hold it. I don't want to see Tiffy to go that long. But I think this is honestly the night to do it.
Yeah, I mean it's a big night. Again, you're trying to kick off. I mean, you could. Well, you probably wouldn't carry it over to. You probably wouldn't carry it over to Raw, but like if you want to just like carry over like Tiffany and Nia, like just as name value for the first Raw, it's some momentum, Wait,
say that again.
If Tiffany took the belt tonight, and then you could maybe somehow like find a way to sneak them both onto the Raw on Monday, just to pop an extra couple names.
There's too much going on Raw already.
True.
If you
just never know.
Cody, Cena, Rock, then you have obviously Punk. Seth. Then you're supposed to have Drew McIntyre, Jay. Then Rhea, Liv. Penta is supposed to debut. How much more do you want on this show?
I want everybody.
I feel like there's something. What did I say, Cody?
Everybody has a good time.
Apparently, there's a post show with Tess and Wade and Big E on YouTube afterwards. No, and you get a camel.
You win a camel?
No, because he said pony, and then they came out again. What's his face was on Matt Riddle was on a thing, and how he came out on a camel, and he wanted Randy Orton to come out in a camel, and Randy's like, "Oh yeah, I want to come out in a camel," and Vince said, "No, your character wouldn't come out on a camel." But could you imagine Randy Orton riding a camel? I want to see that.
It would be great. Well, Nikki, as we want to hear from all you. Let us know what you think's going to happen on SmackDown tonight. Seems like a lot of people think that there's going to be some cash-ins. We'll see. Nikki, we are expecting maybe a special caller in a few minutes, but do you want to open up the phone lines a little early? Maybe let in a few more.
Sure.
I don't want to say strikers. That's a bad term. But yeah, let's open up the phone lines, take a few calls before we get you in. And it is a new one. Again, it's 25.
I haven't seen this one.
So, again, if you want to call in below. The StreamYard link is in the description. Let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking. Topics of the show. If you want to talk about whatever, we'll get you in.
We'll vent about AEW some more.
If you want to vent about AEW, you want to vent about WWE, or just talk about what you like. Be positive. That's great, too. Positive. But, Nikki, I want you to hit it.
Oh.
Because you're my little blondie. So, call me. No, it's a new one. This is a new one. Sort of new. It's the second time. It's a New Year's one. So, Nikki.
Yes.
Got a spot. Got callers. Are you ready?
Yes.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe it's Steven.
All right, we got to get his new intro. It's a new one. It's a little bit more 2025-ish. Big Nick energy. OG from New Jersey, Steve.
Steve,
Is that it?
That's young Steven. Is that it?
you sweet little baby pickle.
Young Steve.
Yes, a little flashback.
So Steve, what are you drinking? What are you thinking?
I am drinking more soup as it is New Jersey and it is January and it is very cold.
There.
Agreed.
Soup is a drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Soup is like the only warm liquid I will drink. I don't know. I don't like coffee. I don't like hot chocolate.
I'm not touching that one. Anyway.
Fair enough.
Steve, what are you thinking?
Oh, well, I'm thinking, okay, AEW sort of is kind of on the right track, kind of, sort of, because they finally figured out, hey, we should go to smaller venues. And I think it's worked great. And I think I'm hoping it's a harbinger of what is to come, that they're starting to come to these other realizations that, hey, this is all that here's what else we need to do. And this is just the first domino to fall, and they can solve their other problems, their payroll problems, their booking problems. They need to seriously lift the creative out of the bog of eternal stench that it has resided in for the last couple of years.
So eloquent, Steve.
Do we have no Labyrinth fans in the audience? Okay. I was reminded of that. I'm like, that perfectly describes AEW's booking situation right now.
Well,
the bog of eternal stench.
I have to drop. You set it up for the drop.
From the bottom of my heart, man to man, fuck your story.
And also stream Moana 2 on Disney Plus. And buy my tequila.
And he's got like 7
So many
different
things.
things. I mean, like all of Under Armour, he basically owns.
Also rent Ballers on DVD.
Ballers is a good show. Don't hate on Ballers.
I never saw that one.
Oh, Ballers is really
Is Ballers different from Billions?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Ballers is closer to Entourage.
Okay, then what's Billions?
Wait, I just thought you meant the same. No, I have no idea what Billions is. But
They're all HBO shows that sound the same to me. I haven't watched it.
Ballers was pretty like 3 or 4 years ago. It really wasn't that long ago.
That's correct. Yeah, that was an okay show.
He's had a lot worse, Steve. He's had a lot worse.
But no, I agree with you about the arenas. I feel like Wednesday felt good. Like obviously at the Hammerstein Ballroom, in Collision, like they need that intimate setting. I feel like they're telling the first thing on streaming through Max. Like I feel like it looked better. So hoping now they can book better.
Yeah. And I'm kind of hoping that somebody at Warner Brothers Discovery has their voice in Tony's ear, who knows something, maybe not necessarily about wrestling, but at least something about telling a story. You know, the creative types that might be over there, that, you know, somebody to act as the liaison between the executives and the executives at WBD and the executives at AEW.
No, that's fair. That's fair. No, good point. Steve, we got some people on the line here. Before we let you go, we'll give you your last shot. We'll have you maybe come back in a little later on. But
all right, I'll be quick with it. There's a movie coming out. I think it's already out in some places, and then it goes wide in a couple of weeks, called Better Man. And it's about the pop singer from Britain, Robbie Williams, who is famous all around the world except here in America. And I thought when I saw that commercial for that movie, what a perfect metaphor for a lot of the wrestlers Tony signs to AEW. Famous in almost every other part of the world. Here, almost nobody's heard of them.
Well, it's the same thing. You got to restart, right? Like even like the NXT audiences, like you come in to WWE in the main roster and you're still like starting fresh, like Lyra, all these. Yeah, you might have some sort of allure, but from the past, but you're still going to start fresh. And
yes, you don't treat people as stars who most mainstream audiences haven't heard of here. Osprey's great. You got to build them up though.
Exactly.
So
Well put.
Here.
No. Yeah, exactly. Well put. As always, Steve. Pleasure. Bada poop. Oh, I didn't do it right. There we go. I changed the thing first. Well, Nikki.
Yes.
You never know who's going to show up on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. We always enjoy making new friends on this show.
Mm-hmm.
We especially enjoy friends from, we'll call it our neck of the woods, for lack of a better term. So let's bring her in, independent professional wrestler, Sammi Chaos. Welcome to the show, Sammi.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Yes. Thank
Seriously.
What are you up to on this lovely Friday? What have you been up to, I guess, this week, and what's on the horizon here for you?
Well, I've been working, even though every day feels like Friday this entire week. So every day I've woken up and thinking it was Friday. So today was the day. Thank God. I have a bunch of wrestling happening this month, which is it's crazy that we're in 2025 already. So
that's actually one of the reasons that we I kind of reached out to Sammi. Next weekend we're really excited. You're going to be at Gremlin House Wrestling. Ooh, I did that wrong. There we go. This one.
Look at her. Yes.
Beer. So the New Jack City Slam, we've been hearing about this for months. You're on the card. You're in a triple threat match. We're super excited to hear about that. I guess, what can you tell everyone about the show and what your expectations are?
Well, I'm expecting to win, guys. That's my only expectation of the show. No, it should be a lot of fun. I'm in the triple threat with Cosmic and Mother Endless. I actually train with Cosmic, so we're gonna have a lot of fun. I haven't stepped in the ring with Mother Endless in a while. We did a cage match like a couple of years ago with a bunch of girls, so I'm actually excited to get in with her with just another person. So we're gonna beat the hell out of each other, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nikki?
Oh, so I want to obviously talk to you about being obviously a women's wrestler, and it's get kind of shit like, oh, you're a girl and you like wrestling, and it's like, yeah, so what? So I want to hear from you, like, like what got you into wrestling, what turned you on about wrestling, and kind of like how you feel about this kind of this two-part, I guess, women's evolution, and how it's more mainstream popular, and you guys are fucking kicking ass.
So my older brother is responsible for my obsession with wrestling. He pretty much made me watch it with him when we were kids, and I think I was like the only girl in the entire school that watched wrestling, so that was a super easy time, as you know. Didn't get picked on at all. But I mean, I started watching during like the Attitude Era, and then life happened and I stopped watching, and then I got back into it maybe 2012, 2013, started watching it again, and I made the crazy delusional decision to start wrestling in the beginning of 2020. is when I started. So
wow.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's definitely interesting to see how like women were perceived back then and to where we are now. It's completely different, which is amazing because I don't know about you, but I'm not doing an evening gown match or a bikini contest match.
Right.
So, you know, I'll spare you that. So, yeah, no, it's just a lot of fun. It's definitely empowering, if nothing else. So, hell yeah.
You know, it's something kind of just to chime in.
Mhm.
Like it's something that you hear about because I think Nikki mentioned this, and I don't want to speak for you, Nikki, but like that I've heard a lot like people just like, especially like the female audience base, like especially that attitude, or like the latter part of like that cringeworthy booking with the female wrestling. It was just like they just went out there and it was just a bunch of I don't want to use it,
Yes.
but like garbage stuff. Like it was just throw a bunch of crap against the wall and see what sticks, and it turned
Yeah.
off. Seems like that turned off a lot of the female fan base for years and years.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of just that. They just became like popcorn matches where it was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get up and use the bathroom now because this is on. But it's 100% just not that anymore. Like, I'm actually excited to see women's wrestling on a show, and it sucks that most shows it's like one women's match, but like it's awesome. Like, there's so many talented women out there. It's insane. So
Do you think it kind of following up because like this show, like we're super excited to see this triple threat, and like, but that's something like admittedly I haven't been out on the indies as much, but the indie shows that I've seen, like to your point, right, like there's only like one women's match. Is that just like just a lack of like talent in the area, like because indies is like, or booking wise, like what do you feel like is the reason for that?
So that's a great question that we all still ask ourselves. I think a lot of the excuses that we get is that women cost more than booking male talent, which, I mean, I don't know how accurate it is, but I'm sure every promoter has their own, reasoning for who they book and what they book and all that jazz. But I mean, hopefully, I mean, I'm seeing a lot more like women's promotions and like all women's shows pop up, and like it's amazing like to just see how many women are out there and how talented they are. Like, it blows my mind. So yeah.
For sure.
Like, we'll book women, and maybe you should cost more. Like, mama needs to make money, and you have
Hello?
some dumb boy that was like, "I'll jump off a thing for $10." We're like, no, mama's
Right.
making money. Rent is
Yes,
due.
our gear is a little bit more expensive than your guys. Sometimes. I'm just saying sometimes.
Just go out, like what, like basketball shorts. Like, you gotta look good.
Exactly. I wish I could go out there looking like New Jack. That would be amazing. But no. It's not the life I chose.
Well, so here you're also a Jersey girl.
Mhm.
And we're
Don't
very
say that
much-
too loud.
Oh, we're all
Just
New
kidding.
Jersey, so I will yell it from the rooftop. We are a Jersey girl.
That's
So
funny.
how does it feel to like you're, I guess, mostly in New Jersey, or like
Mhm.
obviously you go are there places, does it feel like different, like wrestling in New Jersey, like this is my whole kind of like home?
Yes. Yeah, I definitely love wrestling in just even the tri-state area, but in New Jersey it's always a lot of fun because then you're more likely to have like family and friends come out to shows, and whether they're booing you or cheering for you, it's definitely it's a lot different. Like, the vibe's always different because you kind of know like the kind of people that are going to be there and what they're going to react towards you and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like if I go to Maine, they're going to react to me a little differently than they do in Jersey. So
Yeah.
so yeah,
What do
when
you
I
feel
go
like
to
is-
Maine, they
like what is the difference between like if you go up to Maine, like what, like because obviously different things get over in different areas, right? Like
Mhm.
like what would be like one of the differences that you see? Is it like, again, like the people are different, right? So like different things, like if you wore a Giants or Jets jersey, maybe that doesn't go over
right,
well. But
yes.
like what's the main things that you see, like, or the nuances that different crowds offer in different states?
I mean, and if you say that you're from Jersey or New York, just automatically they don't tend to love you too much. Like even if you're not there to, cause a ruckus, as I mean, I normally am, but like they don't take lightly to, like, I don't know what it is about Jersey. People are just like, I'm like, apologize, like what the hell, and then I'm there to kick ass and get a lobster roll every time I go to Maine. So like, listen, peace on earth, guys. Like, it's okay. But it's funny because I've had, like, when I go up to Maine, I've had crowds that, like, because I'm not a small girl, so they're just like, holy shit, and they love me. And then there's other crowds that are like, what the hell, this girl's gonna beat the shit out of this other girl, and like, we don't know if we like it. So it's always a mixed bag.
Exactly. Well, so that's honestly one of the things that, like, I think you should, like, because you get all different types of, shape and size on the indies, and like, for you, how is it like working? Obviously, you get different types. Like, do you find a particular, like, is it easier working with different types of like body types, or like is it easy? Because like sometimes, like, I've seen over the years, like they used to say, like Andre the Giant used to love working with small, like super small wrestlers because they would do all the spots for him super easy.
Yes.
Throw someone around.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's not my job to run around. You run around me. Like, I'm not doing all that. Like, but it's fun. I mean, I like working everybody and anybody. But it's always a lot of fun working like smaller people and smaller girls, and it's funny to watch them try to overcome like a giant or just like someone way bigger than them in the ring, and because they have to adjust the way they work now. And it's fun because you get to see how they've been trained as opposed to how I've been trained, and like, it's just a fun experience to see how everybody learns differently and how they react to different situations. So but I mean, I've also been in the ring with someone like Tyree Taylor, who's this huge guy, and we just hit each other super hard for like 15 minutes, and it was awesome. So different matches are always a lot of fun. So we don't always like, the same thing over and over. So yeah.
Well, you kind of talked about how different people are trained. Can you kind of talk about like training with Masha a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah, she is an insane person, and we love her. I tell people I'm trained by Masha Slamovich, and they're like, what? They're like, you're, this 6 foot like big girl, and you were trained by Masha Slamovich, and I'm like, yeah, she's great. Like, she because she's wrestled all different types of people from all around the world, so she definitely knows how to train different types of people of different sizes and where they come from, and she definitely teaches me things that I can pull out in a match that someone wouldn't expect me to pull out, and they're like, you know how to do those things, and I'm like, Masha Slamovich, man. So she's a lot of fun, and she's a great person, so we stand Masha Slamovich. Yes.
What do you feel like was, with training, whether it's training with her or training in general, what do you think was the hardest thing for you to pick up in the ring?
For me, it's still in-ring cardio is insane. I've played sports my entire life, mainly basketball, and I can run up and down a full court basketball and for 2 hours, and like, I'll be winded, but like, nothing compares to losing your breath in a wrestling ring. So yeah, that's just, it's wild. And I've always asked like any of my coaches, I'm like, so what can I do in the gym to kind of combat this? And they're like, oh, Stairmaster. So yeah, I hate everything. And if you ever see me posting at the gym, I don't want to be there. And I'm dying.
Literally, we bought one of those cycles over like the pandemic, and we're like, all right, we're gonna be
so great. And it's like, no.
Yeah, you start rethinking a lot of things.
It was one of those pandemic purchases. There's a lot of those that
Yeah, I did that too. I had like a little stationary bike in my apartment, and I'm like, I hate you. Like, I don't like. I hate all of this.
It's like that. Well, ironically, like the New Year's resolution, you're like you're good for like 2 weeks, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing great, and then it's like week 3, it's like,
you know, it's like, yeah, I was a different person back then. Like,
2 weeks ago was a
different animal.
Yeah, I'm not the same. I've moved on. Like, we're good.
I could be that person again.
Yeah, no, we don't know her. We don't.
If you only knew me 2 weeks ago.
I was such a better person back then.
That was an answer. That was a yes 2 weeks ago, but it's a no today.
Not gonna work for you, brother.
Exactly. You just missed it. You just missed it.
It's literally our statement, Nikki. It's not going to work for me, brother. It's just literally.
Yes.
Oh, we say that to each other all the time. Every time I'm like, we're doing it, I'm like, not gonna work for me, brother.
That's legit. Yes. Oh my God, I say that all the time. No, sorry, brother. Not gonna work for me. So funny. I'm glad to know we're the same person. Great.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was funny. Nikki always asks, because I kind of surprise her sometimes with like who the guests are, and like sometimes, because again, like Friday night at 6 or 7, like it, especially for performers, we understand like Friday nights probably you're performing somewhere, right? Like, and it's rare to get on. So like, so we kind of like we just never know who's show up. So she's like, oh, I'm like, well, I reached out to this person, and like they said they're interested, and she's like, cool, like who did you reach out to? And I was like, she's a Jersey person? It's like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
I was like, he's gonna be my people. Like, this is gonna
yes. We know each other already. Like,
yeah.
It's basically everyone in New Jersey has got a cousin or friend like you're related to.
Yes, yeah. It's so funny too, because anywhere I go, like I could be on the West Coast, furthest from New Jersey, and I'll always run into someone just from New Jersey. They're like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, Jersey. They're like, me too. I'm like, I can't get away from New Jersey at all.
Not at all. We're everywhere.
Yeah, actually, that happens to us like
every time we go on vacation, we find a Jersey person.
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
It's like a sonar or something.
Yes, you're just drawn to each other and you don't even know it.
Yeah. It's like a magnet. It's a chip implanted.
Yep.
You're gonna be from New Jersey, and you're gonna seek out other people from New Jersey.
Yes.
But getting back to it, gosh. Yeah. So going back to, I guess, the industry today, like we have obviously the two main players with WWE and AEW. From what you see, is there obviously there's differences in the way that things are being booked, but like how would you do you view one as, I don't want to say better than the other, but just like more polished than the other? I guess how do you compare that, at least in the women's side?
I think when it comes down to like the way they're dealing with the women, if you're talking about WWE and AEW, I mean WWE is going to take it. But I'm super partial, not just because of Masha, but I'm super partial to the way TNA books their women. And it's just, I feel like it's night and day when you compare, like, if you compare TNA to like AEW, how they're using their women. It's like, because they use all of their women, and it's compelling what they're doing, and it's not just, like a one-off match. It kind of means something, which is amazing. But AEW, they sign all these people and you don't see them, and it's unfortunate because they have so much talent on their roster, and it's heartbreaking. So but
this past Wednesday they had a sign that said like book Athena.
Like, yes,
she's like
I saw that.
The longest reigning ROH champion, which again, she's incredible, but you don't do anything with her. That's why she's the longest. And again, they dropped the ball on her, but anyways, like men's wrestling, we there's an appetite for it for sure. And I just feel like,
Well,
Yeah.
so I don't make it a controversial topic, but like you talked about TNA and like the recent return was obviously, oh my gosh, Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah,
I almost
Tessa.
said Jordan Grace because she attacked her, but like,
Yeah.
and there's all that controversy that she's had over the last couple of years. You know, as someone who's been in locker rooms and like that, I guess, how do you feel? I mean, and people make amends. Like, how do you feel like that would be approached, and like, how would you feel if you were in that locker room?
So, I mean, I'd never met Tessa. I've only heard, you know, as much as anybody else has heard of, you know, everything that has happened. And, you know, it's not up to me. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of mixed reviews happening with the return of Tessa Blanchard, and she's an amazing talent. Like, she is so talented. It's, you know, crazy. And if she has made amends, or if this is part of her making amends, like, hey, I'm all for giving people, you know, second chances and all that, but it's not for me to say, since it wasn't, you know, it had nothing to do with me. So, you know, if everyone can collectively welcome her back, then, you know, maybe she's, I don't want to say changed, because I don't know what, you know,
Right.
everything is, you know, everything I read, but you know, I hope that, you know, she can turn it around and do something good, because like I said, she's amazing at what she does. So maybe
It's just an
TNA
interesting dynamic because when you see about like everything, like even you see about like the CM Punk stuff, right? And they're all like, it doesn't necessarily matter. It's just like, again, like you're still working with other people, right? And like
right.
how you that awkwardness, like we've all had people that come. It's like so and so's back to work after that meltdown. It's like,
I know, because it's like, if you think about like everything, people have gotten second chances for way worse things that have happened, you know? So it's like, who am I? I'm not the decision maker. So, you know, if she were in a locker room that I was in, I'd shake her hand and introduce myself, and that's it. But, you know, what are you going to do?
Nikki?
I'm gonna pivot back to So Nick and I were watching some of your stuff. So we saw you do the Vader bomb.
Yes.
Which I love. I know, I just feel like I want to say moveset, but apparently we're not allowed to say moveset anymore.
I didn't know that either.
It's CM Punk's it's the whole thing. Apparently you're not allowed to say moveset.
Gonna shut my mouth.
And basically the I guess Paige called it the Rampage, but like the fisherman
DDT
thingy.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't feel like your move set, but like I don't you like the Vader bomb or doing that move. Like what's kind of like your favorite kind of you quiver in your or arrow in your quiver. There you go.
I like doing that. So because I do like the bear hug into a DDT, I really like doing that because it hurts me less. So that's probably my favorite move to do. I love doing the Vader bomb just because it's a Vader bomb, and who doesn't love a Vader bomb? But yeah, I love doing I call it a raining blood just because I'm a metalhead and Slayer. So but yeah.
You might have made a new fan of one of our regulars, Lisa. She's a metalhead too.
Yes.
She actually made a comment here. She said she works for a gym and Sammy, nobody loves a stair climber.
Yeah, it's torture. That's my hell. It's just constantly on the Stairmaster.
Cardio should be like a 4-letter word in like a curse word in society.
It is so terrible. What are you gonna do? It's needed, I guess.
Fair enough. Nikki, I'd like to ask your
my fun. Well, it's my Jersey question, and we actually had Al Snow on our podcast, who doesn't really know our Jersey-ness. So I usually ask pork roll or Taylor ham. And since he doesn't get it, I was like, well, at least tell me your favorite breakfast food, because breakfast is my favorite thing in the entire world. So I want to hear about breakfast. But if you're Jersey, you get
it. So where I grew up, it was Taylor ham. But okay, I'm like, I I don't think I even heard pork roll until like I started getting like South Jersey friends. So because where I grew up on the border of like upstate New York and Jersey. So everyone called it Taylor ham. So yeah. And I always feel like people jump down my throat because I'm wrong. And I'm like, listen, it's the same thing. I don't know.
We all live on a bagel.
Well, that's like hardcore North Jersey. Like you have that area down to like probably I think where Diggy's from, like Woodbridge area, and that's like hardcore.
Like, that's the dividing. Woodbridge is like the dividing line to me.
Yes, agreed. Agreed.
Well, see, that's the other thing, and this is a controversial topic too. It's like, is there a Central Jersey? Now that we've moved to Somerset County, I firmly believe there's a Central Jersey.
And to me, I feel like we're in North Jersey. I feel like Woodbridge. I grew up in Woodbridge. Like to me, that was Central. And then when I went to school in more South Jersey, they're like, Central doesn't exist. So I was like, do you want to tell every teacher I've had for 20 years that it doesn't exist?
Oh my god, I know it's
They're
such
moving,
a great area.
We're more north than Woodbridge, so I'm like, this feels like a different country up here.
It is so different. Like even if you go to West Jersey, it's like completely different. I'm like, I don't even know where I am. It's crazy, but I definitely think that there's a Central Jersey because it's like you're not quite south, but you're not north. So cut it out.
Right, there's definitely a difference. Thank you for confirming that for us.
We have confirmed this officially.
Nothing else.
Damn.
If nothing else got cleared up on this, that's all we got.
Exactly. Well, Sammi, we appreciate you coming. Before we let you go, obviously, we're super excited to see you next Saturday at Gremlin House Wrestling. But where else can everybody find you aside from next Saturday where we'll see you live?
Oh my God, I have so many shows. I'm so popular. No.
Yeah.
So this Sunday, I'm actually going to be in Maryland for FWA in Havre de Grace. And but stalk me on my social media. I'm at Real Sammi Chaos on X and Instagram. So please stalk me, like all of my things. Please buy my merch. Fund this delusion that I have.
Support women's wrestling.
Support.
Yes, and thank you.
Well, Sammi, it was a pleasure having you
so
on.
Much.
Thank you. We will. Always a pleasure. Well, we will get you come back sometime soon. If not, we will see you obviously next Saturday. But best of luck. We're you to come out on top. You and friend of the show, Zack Ruby. So we need to go 2-0 here for friends of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
There you go. Very good.
All right, Sammi. Well, pleasure as always. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my goodness. I'll see y'all next week.
Next week. Ladies and gentlemen, Sammi Chaos.
Oh my God, I love her.
New Jersey friend.
New Jersey friend. Yeah, support women's wrestling. We were watching her stuff, and it's just like she kicks ass, and she's like kick ass next week. And I almost said it with a Boston accent, but loud.
Why would you say that?
Isn't because of Gloucester? Isn't that like a Boston thing?
I don't know how you pronounce Gloucester. I pronounce it Gloucester.
I don't know. Nick will put it in the show notes below.
Okay.
Wasn't she the best? I love when we have like new friends on the podcast.
Steven says once you cross the Delaware from here, you might as well be in Kansas.
Basically. But you know, so we're supporting indie wrestling, we're supporting women's indie wrestling, supporting all women's wrestling. But I don't know. I love when we have fun people come on the podcast, making new friends.
I know, always making new friends.
Making new friends.
Oh, it's a fun one. Do we see? No, I think it's been a good one. We got about 30 minutes out from SmackDown. So
go get your
Yeah,
snackies, then take your dog out, take yourself out, get ready for SmackDown. It's a 3 hour. We're back to 3 hours, kids. So I feel like we were spoiled between 2 hours of Raw and 2 hours of SmackDown. And now we're gonna be back to the 6 hour gauntlet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. But we're excited. We hope that they have learned a lesson and we got enough on the roster that they can book a good 3 hour show.
I know. More Chelsea Green.
Give her an hour. But it's been a good one. It's been a pleasure. Always making new friends.
Making new friends.
Always
I know she was like, oh, I'm like, no, we are too, girl. Here, Liz, this is us. And she's like, ah. Like, you're speaking my language.
Things are easier.
You're with your people.
Yeah, but we are back here next Friday in our normal 6 o'clock Eastern time.
Yep.
So we hope you will all join us back then, which we expect to be a very action-packed week.
We're going to talk about Raw for 6 hours.
I know. Basically, it might as well be a Monday night. Happy Friday, right? Wrestling Junkies, friends of the show. But yeah, like.
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about that.
What?
How terrible the new music is for Dynamite.
Oh, what was it?
I'm so excited.
Oh,
I just can't. Like,
it just makes me want to dance.
No, like this is it Flashdance? I don't know. That's not how you. And then like everything was like. And I don't know what that was and why.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
You can leave. Me and Ed will just talk about how much you hate this.
We were done, and then
oh my God, Steve!
Oh God! I don't know what's going on. The chat is starting to blow up again.
I just like.
Nikki, do I do it?
I'm sorry. Do it. If you need to leave, I will handle this.
No,
I'm usually not
left. You know what? We'll open it up to everybody because if, come one, come all.
Bring it in. What, do you have to pee?
No, I just didn't know. I didn't know you were like, all right. So we're opening back the phone lines up. We
sang and I opened it up.
Nikki gets call. Gets last call.
What?
No, Nikki made the call. You want the phone lines up?
I know you want. Did you want to leave? I can.
No, we're good. We're opening back up.
Do it. I want to talk about terrible.
Oh my God! All right. So you call them below. StreamYard link in below. We're doing it again. We're hitting it open.
I'm sorry.
Nikki asked the phone line.
Oh,
we're doing it again. Nikki, hit the fucking snare. All right, he's back on. He wants to talk about it. He's got feelings. Ed.
Oh, I've got plenty of feelings. I was holding back on this. This is the thing specifically I wanted to talk about, right? So Tony Khan goes out of his way, right, to be like, WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of professional wrestling. Meanwhile, now their flagship show is the Jesse Spano of professional wrestling.
Yeah,
they're so excited. What the fuck are they doing?
I know Steven put that in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I'm 100% with Steve. I get the reference. You know, they should be so scared and then start crying. What is happening? What are they doing?
He has enough because everyone's that he's like, oh, we can't play Final Countdown because it's so much money. But you paid for Punk's theme, you paid for Where Is My Mind, and the other Starship song.
Every Guns N' Roses song.
Roses song and the Starship song that
I think he just bought the whole
OC
album.
that is escaping my brain right now.
Yeah, and they're paying for the Alter Bridge stuff. They're paying for they're paying again for Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. It's a good song, but it doesn't get me excited for professional wrestling.
Or for fighting.
Either that, yeah. It's like, listen, Elton John is a monster talent, but I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not walking. That actually, it's kind of something that intrigues me because, like, I don't understand how, like, some boxers or UFC fighters. Do you ever see their walk-in songs? They're pretty fucking nutty. They're like so quiet and peaceful. Like some of them are like Bittersweet Symphony and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is like eerie. Like you're like very calm and you're about to like beat someone's brains in.
Oh, there's a fun one with Matt Mitrione. I forget what UFC it was. But he comes out to Simple Man, and he's got his eyes closed and he's singing along to the song. It's terrifying.
Which version of Simple Man?
I believe it's the original. I don't remember though. Nothing beats Vanderlei Silva though in Pride coming out to Sandstorm looking like a fucking serial killer. Like they called that man the Axe Murderer for a reason. Do yourself a favor, go check that out because it's absolutely insane. This man is roided to the gills coming out to Darude Sandstorm with like pyro, ballyhoo, the whole bit.
It's weird because like it's slowly like I'm just thinking recency bias. Like Julia Hart came out and she has that slur and the house always wins and she sings she mouths the words and like that fits. But this like I'm so like, it does not fit this at all. And I don't understand it.
Even
I wish we were home when I was watching it because I was looking at Jackson, our dog, and he was just like, I'm like, what is this?
Oh, the dog's even more confused. You kidding me? Yeah, I
probably has a better idea than we did. He's like, I get it. He's like, I'm down with it.
Which like so we get that you get cope, which I was already talking about the coping mechanism. That's pretty good, right?
No, I like.
But like so we get that, which I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
We get the opening, I don't get, and then you get Jeff Jarrett wanting to go after the AEW title.
Yeah, like you.
Oh yeah.
You pretend he's gonna, and like Karen comes out, her boobs are everywhere. Get it, girl. But like they're saying that he's gonna retire, basically implying he's gonna retire. He walks out with the boots, the guitar, so he's like, I'm and I was like, what is happening?
First off, her boobs were out like better than Mina Shirakawa. Like she was like
Karen has better boobs than Mina.
She was I don't know if she does, but she was wearing a see-through bra, and I was like, you sloot.
I understand.
You're acting a little snooty.
Is your little chicken tender slut?
Not bad at it, even a little bit. I just like so we talked about it before. Like the Death Riders are like essentially holding your company at gunpoint and going, please take it from us. And the guy that steps up should be retired, a former WWE superstar, Jeff Jarrett.
The last outlaw, man, my world.
Or is it Edge, the next WWE guy?
Listen, I'm just hoping that Moxley hits this dude with his guitar and then plastic bags him to send him packing back to WWE so he can I don't know, he shows up with like a Jar Jar Binks gimmick, like he's JARR, another JARR, JEFF. It's Jar Jeff. Yeah, I'm here for that.
Oh god.
Honestly, they're not doing anything with LA Knight. You might as well team him up with LA Knight.
And he chokes him out with his guitar string.
Ooh.
You're not saying murder people.
Yeah, just garrot him. Yeah, I'm here for it.
They basically strangled Bryan Danielson. I'm pretty sure murder's okay. They shot Chad Gable in the head on Raw. I'm pretty sure we can.
Super dead.
Yeah, murder's fine.
Rest in peace.
I just, it's so frustrating to see to see that on TV. And then meanwhile, I don't know if you guys caught the Sam Roberts interview with Karrion Kross.
I saw that. It was. It's on my list of things to watch over the weekend.
So the highlight that's going around is the conversation, the stuff he was talking about Bray Wyatt, and the two of them would talk on and off.
Mm-hmm.
And he had mentioned this before that he had the two of them talked about trying to have doing something at WrestleMania, right? But they had talked prior about the two of them possibly teaming up or just doing more things together. And Karrion was all for it. He was like, "Oh hell yeah! I definitely want to be in a stable with you on a TV show." And Bray's like, "You don't want to stand next to me because I'm the mouthpiece, right? I'm the mouthpiece. I'm essentially the center of attention. You have your own thing going. That's incredible. But what if my reach was bigger?" So essentially what he wanted to do was actually what we had been saying. He wanted himself to be sort of like a Thanos or a dark side kind of thing for the WWE universe, but have proxies on every show. So Raw, SmackDown, NXT. What Karrion was saying is he wanted a bunch of guys to be inside guys. At some point he just wanted Wade Barrett to just get up from commentary and just bullhammer some dude and pull his suit jacket off to reveal the a t-shirt with whatever the logo of the group would have been.
Oh, I did see this because someone said it was the Court of Owls.
Yes.
Okay, so I saw that clip. I didn't, or just saw the headline. I didn't read it, but yes.
Yeah,
that would have been so badass.
Yeah, It would have been fucking fantastic, especially with everything that he was doing with the Fiend, which was like a similar kind of thing with what like Karrion's doing now. Like everything he touches gets corrupted. Having him have like different people he'd interacted with throughout the years, it's like now he snaps his fingers and this person's like a sleeper agent. Like, oh,
Yeah.
like that to me is a way you can take over a company. But I'm sorry, Nikki, you're saying?
No, because wasn't there when Bray Wyatt was coming back the second time and there was like the White Rabbit thing? Weren't people thinking that was Karrion Kross for a hot second?
Yes, the reason they were
And
thinking,
wouldn't that been such a crossover, or to bring them both together? That would have been amazing.
yeah, no, absolutely would have been crazy. People at first thought it was like, you know, it's a small group of people thought it was Karrion Kross, because that was his character in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, and I know he like tweeted or X'd about it that he's like, "Oh, that's cool. You think of me, but that's not me." But I'm like, it could have been.
Yeah, no, the White Rabbit tribe in Lucha Underground was absolutely out of control. Two guys I'm not familiar. Actually, I think it's like three guys I'm not familiar with. Paul London and Karrion Kross was the their god essentially.
Yeah,
Paul London.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He wore a Freddie Mercury onesie with the deep V all the way down to his crotch and a cod piece.
Yeah, we're not talking about bringing Paul London back to WWE. I'm just saying what
I know. I'm just trying to imagine this character. You're right now. The way that Ed just described that, I'm imagining Borat. You know the Borat like bikini costume that he wears. That's what I'm imagining. Brian.
It's like picture like an Elvis onesie, but he's got like the V super deep, and then he's got this big crystal codpiece.
Yeah, like
and he's got a top hat and crazy sunglasses.
Because ironically, I don't know how this came up on my feed, but like Brian Kendrick was the streaker in WWE for a while. Remember they had Naked Midi, and then Brian Kendrick like 10 years later reprised a streaker gimmick in WWE. And like now that I'm thinking about it, like now you're bringing this up, I'm like that Borat bikini suit. is how I'm envisioning this character.
I mean, what's Brian Kendrick doing right now? Bring him back, have him streak through Netflix. I'm here for it.
Well, didn't he also say some not good things?
He said some not great things in character. That got taken the wrong way, and then that was the end of that. The problem is he didn't text Tony Khan to make it okay, so they fired him beforehand. You know, if you're Darby, it's okay. If you're Tessa, it's okay.
Again, I had it out with my boss's boss 2 weeks ago, and I said it's different rules for different people.
Yep.
That's life, babe. Different rules for different people.
Oh, you already know.
I had it out with my boss's boss.
If you bring in certain amounts, yeah, it happens.
But Nick, are they bringing in certain amounts? Like
I think so. Like, I mean to bring up a controversial topic, but
I'll go for it.
Like the Tessa thing, like I think like again the backstage stuff and like everything, like I get it, like terrible shit. If she's made amends, like move on. That's probably what I was trying to get at with Sammy. Is like I don't know how, like, is it a like if you were in that locker room, is it a conversation that you have with her like 1-to-1, or is it just like a one? Because like we've all like been part of teams. Like you fuck up, you make a mistake, you apologize to the team. Coach is like, I embarrassed you, whatever. I embarrassed myself, and you know, like the usual typical thing. So I'm just curious how that is in the wrestling locker room, where it's much different than like it's similar but different than a professional sports environment. Like if I'm playing for the Jets, who suck, and I fumble the game away, it's like, shit, I'm going to do better, right? Like, and you know that person's probably the next game, hopefully not going to fumble, but at least going to run their head through a wall. With wrestling, it's different because now you have two people that are partners in doing a dance in unison, and it's a completely different element, but there is the sport element of there is a locker room. There is a team camaraderie to it. And that's what interests me about, like, because you see all the crap that's come out in the last year. A lot of the shit is very juvenile that's happened, but that's a lot of the terrible like sport aspect of it. And like there is a locker room component. Everyone works together to make this product great. And someone's gonna have to work with Tessa. You know, Jordan Grace said she wouldn't work with Tessa, but it looks like that's happening. So like, what was that conversation like? Like even CM Punk, Seth Rollins, like in theory, it could have been kayfabe or not, but like, what was that conversation like yeah, like, is it we could make a lot of money and like, okay, you're an asshole. I could deal with you being an asshole because we're making a lot of money, or is it like, hey, I legitimately feel like you will change who you like, not change, but you've changed enough that you understand the holistic aspect of what we're trying to do.
I think that becomes column A, column B. Like, and it's also depends on the situation. I feel like something like a Seth Rollins CM Punk thing, there's a mutual respect there because both of those people are extremely talented. You know, I guess Seth at some point did have a never meet your heroes moment, but you know, he still respects the guy because he's still an influence on him. And Punk even said in the you know, the face to face that he respects him. So they absolutely could go, I don't like you personally, but I know you're very good at the job. So let's go out and do our job.
Yeah.
Where at the place where Punk used to work, those people couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the one guy's got to go ambush him on live TV. And if I can, again, quote Karrion Kross, that's some coward shit.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point. No, Ed, he's on point as usual. Ed, before we let you go, last shot.
Oh, Max Caster's a piece of shit.
Oh, that's a different one. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, sorry about that. He sucks.
Interesting. Well put, Ed. I wasn't expecting them.
Another talk for another day, my love.
No, I guess now after we spent so much time getting the cranberries.
He's gonna
to
be
make that
listening to
remix.
songs that rhyme with Max.
Unbelievable.
What's
Tax.
it? I'm a tax man.
I'm a tax man.
No, wait. In your taxes, tax.
Well,
I'm sure I'm gonna lose him for the next 3 weeks to find this out, Ed. Thank
define
you.
tax songs. I
don't know what rhymes with Max. I went tax. I'm sorry.
That's a very dangerous slippery slope. But Nikki, we still have one more on the line, one more regular to get through because he wants to say some more. Because we cut him off. He cashed.
I know what, Steven, you're the best.
Bring him back. Steve back. No, Steve. Welcome back in.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I should have said earlier. I do appreciate the new opening, the new Titantron. It's very good. Thank you.
Steve, the OG from New Jersey. You like all those rhymes? I just had to Google it. Apparently, according to Nikki, all I do is Google rhymes.
I roasted it a little, but I am grateful and humble that I even have one made. Thank you.
I'm excited. It makes me excited. I thought it was a little jazzy. You know, it kind of derived from you had a trip to New Orleans and you were going to call in, and I had the New Orleans one ready, and then I took some of that stuff and I had to change it all out when you went.
You're gonna get a whole brass band in for you.
I know. So we did. So then it became a jazz brass band.
I'd actually like to see that one of these days. I know it was only going to be a one-time thing, but unless you threw it in the recycle bin, never to return, I'd like to see that one time.
The actual video?
The New Orleans one you made.
Oh, that one, I have it somewhere. I hope I didn't.
Okay.
Some of the stuff.
It's not a big deal. Just curious.
It's somewhere.
He will find it for you, Steven.
It's a lot of the thing. I don't know if we're calling them the Stevettes. What are we calling your dance?
Oh my God, the Stevettes.
Wait, the Stevedactyls?
Stevedactyls? Stevenette?
Oh gosh.
We have to. All right. Everyone needs to put in the chat.
Oh my God, we need a vote.
What are Steve's dancers going to be called?
I like the Stevenettes.
Well, with Tyrus.
Fair point.
The Stat Girls?
The Stat. Ooh.
Like the Nitro Girls,
Really
the
could be
Stat
Stat
Girls? I really do like the Stevenettes.
Do that.
Well, we'll workshop that.
Oh my God. Comment below what we're doing with these dances. We're the dancers.
Oh my gosh.
We're the dancers.
That was actually almost, I might have to make this another drop because that was almost a drop for New Year's because everyone did their New Year's resolutions like 2014 or something like that I found somewhere because the internet lives forever. And basically Fandango came on. He's like, what's my New Year's resolution? to dance. And he just says the dance the whole time for like 30 seconds.
Can we quickly, before we get back to Steven, because Steven, I love you, but I love the Fashion Police. I wanted more Fashion Police, them doing all the detective work about things. I wanted more Dirty Dango.
Mm.
They certainly look like fun doing it. I mean, they were getting a paycheck to be on TV every week, and they didn't actually have to wrestle.
True.
I feel like he'd fit in so perfectly with that Maximum Male Models gimmick that they're doing. Like I feel like he would have been kind of nicely settled in there.
But what is I digress. Steven, I don't want to go down a Fashion Police.
Oh, quite all right. How bad does everybody think the choice of the Dynamite theme is, that we're all forgetting that the WWE used Nickelback
for everything?
I guess that's what it is, because I'd rather have the Nickelback. Like, hey, no, like it was more like, I don't know, more rock, more pop, more like
more misogynistic. Yep.
Agree. But like, I don't know. It just seems at the time, I feel like it was at least Nickelback in that time zone was current. This feels so regressive.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Wrestling fans are, can certainly be a diverse bunch, but how many cross over to being fans of the Pointer Sisters?
Mm.
It makes no, and really makes no, like, I don't know, like that's not a theme you put to wrestling. It should be, I don't know, none of the like everything.
I could use it more on Saturday nights than I could on like Thursday nights, because I'm not excited because I still have to go to work tomorrow.
How are you going?
Or
Because
Wednesday
this is
night,
your
sorry.
first simulcast on Max, and I'm some Joe Schmo that not named Mark, and I'm scrolling through a thing, and then this like, oh, this Dynamite, what is this? Click on it, and like, I'm so excited comes on. You're like, the fucking like, I don't think that would draw in anybody. But a little more harder, a little more rock. And again, I can't believe I'm defending Nickelback right now. But like, at least that kind of felt more in. I think I just spent felt more in themed than this random Pointer Sister song.
Keep going. I'm going to clip this, and it's going to be great.
No,
it's going to be the greatest drop. Nikki loves Nickelback.
Everything you say will.
It'll be a new band called Nickyback.
Oh, Jesus. Everything can and will be used against you in a court of law of this podcast, apparently.
Well, we know Jesse likes the song, so we've established that.
I know. Like, again, oh my God. Everything about this. And I saw your Paul comment, also laughed at that.
Yes.
Lisa wants the Stevenettes.
The Stevenettes!
We'll work on it.
Oh, the chat.
All right. Well, then when you come back next week, I want 5 other.
Yeah, we need 5 new names for a poll.
5 new names. Because right now, me and Lisa are the Stevenettes are winning.
The Statins.
Wow. It's medical.
We gotta find a good one.
The Statins. Get out of here.
All right, I'm old. I'll eventually be on some. So
unbelievable. This guy.
No.
So
no pharma related.
The Tessa Blanchard thing that just came up. So it begs the question again. I mean, does she have, I certainly think that she is at least in the process of making amends. Does she have to do, I asked this question before when the subject first came up in the news. Mm-hmm. Do we think she has to do this publicly? Or can we just be, make the assumption that, she's done so with the people that at least she needs to do it with right now, and all is well enough, and Jordan Grace has been convinced to, just do the time-honored tradition and go out on her back, and that's that. From what I saw of the reports, Matt Hardy reported on it that Tessa was making time to speak to anybody in the locker room who wanted to speak to her about this.
Yeah, if she's doing that, yeah.
I would say I very much I have two minds about it. I think it very much has to be like a personal thing, and I think for her, what Matt said, she's taking the time to sit with anybody in the locker room that wanted to talk. I think that's fantastic, and I do hope she's making amends. Again, like my brother was in the 12-step program. I get like making amends is like a big thing and should be a private thing. But the other part of me, no one is going to maybe take her more legitimately, or think she is making amends unless when she cuts a promo to establish that, like, hey, maybe I did some shit. I'm working on it. Or spin it however you want it. Or you're going to make her heel and be like, oh, fuck those people. I don't know. But I hope she made all the amends in the locker room that she should and could. But I think you need to say something publicly for us to buy into you. Because right now I'm like, you kind of said some stuff. But also what Sammi said, people also did grosser stuff and got welcomed back.
It's also like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's so far removed that like, I don't know, if she doesn't do it in her first promo, it's probably not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So like, maybe it's just one of those like beneath the rug type deals. Like we'll just like you'll move on individually with everybody. And eventually,
like that.
Right. I mean, on the flip side of that, though, I mean, it's been known. It's probably the worst kept secret in women's wrestling was that Jordan was going to leave at the end of her contract. They've known since she entered at the Rumble last year.
Yeah.
Pretty much as she was got. So TNA had a whole year to build up somebody as the face of the women's division. And no disrespect to Masha or whatever name Dana Brooke goes by now. Ash by Elegance, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the others who are there, no disrespect to any of them, but they failed to do it. Tessa Blanchard gives them that instant face of the women's division, if not also one of the faces of the company. So I think that they were put in a position where they got to maybe, let's say the beginning of the fall, and they realized, oh my God, we're going to be left high and dry like this. We better do something. And that opened up the talks with Tessa that probably under other circumstances, such as Jordan deciding to stay, but I'm excited to see her in the E when, whatever day that happens, that opened up the talks and led to what we have now. And hopefully you just keep her on she's kept on a short leash. I remember there was talk like this about Punk, right as Punk was signing with WWE. They said he's already got 2 strikes against him. And unless I'm forgetting about something, Punk's been a model citizen.
That's what everyone's saying, that he's, helps out, wants to go to the NXT, the NXT, like I'm 100 years old. That he goes to NXT, hangs out with all the new kids. He's trying to be good. Like there's been obviously, I think it's just been honestly on TV between him and Drew and him and Seth. But the reports of him and Drew are like working phenomenally together backstage. Mm-hmm. So, so far so good. And again,
it's like football. Like how many guys get suspended? It's like, all right, they're one suspension away, and then they have their like Santonio Holmes with the Jets got suspended, came back and had a great year. Like there's a lot of players that do that. They get their suspensions and they come back. DeAndre Hopkins a couple of years ago got suspended for PEDs, came back, played like 10 games, but the 10 games he played, he would have had like they said like 1,400 receiving yards or something like that. They're motivated, they do better. So yeah, like sometimes the last straw, like that's it. Sometimes that's what you need.
Jeff Hardy was suspended twice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, I
third time's a charm.
I think it's twofold. Again, like you knew this was happening. You did nothing for your women's, and I think there's so much potential in that Knockouts division for them to have done something. And I feel like it's like the break glass. Let's bring Tessa back because she is a huge deal. She's incredible in the ring and what she does. Again, I hope she makes amends with all the people in the back. Again, I hope people can turn a new leaf, recognize what they did wrong. But I do think there needs to be something to the audience because, again, I'm going to assume you're an asshole until proven otherwise, which is maybe not a great outlook, but that's where we're at.
Steve, before we let you go, your last shot.
I'm stuck on who's going to win the matches on.
Oh, baby, breaking out. Who's catching what?
I honestly cannot think of who is going to win on all these big matches.
No, who's gonna win what?
Oh no, it's so close.
Steven, who's winning what?
On all the big matches on Monday on the network stage.
All the big yeah.
We're gonna drop him because I think he's got a bad connection
Oh.
there. But
I think what he was trying to get at, and Steven, we're going to talk about this all next week. It's hard to tell who's going to win the big matches. Again, like Leah, we got to wrap. Liv, Rhea, Punk, Seth, Roman, Solo. Like, there's a lot of big matches going on. I honestly don't. And I think that maybe that's why we didn't do who's going to do what.
it could go either way because they both need it. You could argue everyone needs it, needs the win. That's what I always talk about, right? Everyone who needs the win more. That's how I make my predictions. But when you have Solo Roman, they both could use the Ulafala. Solo could probably use it a little bit more. When you have Liv Rhea, Liv could probably use the world title a little bit more than Rhea.
Yeah.
But is it time to put the belt on someone else? I don't know. There's a lot of different things that are gonna.
We will talk about this all next week.
Yes, we will.
We
next
gotta get
Friday
the SmackDown
at 6 Eastern. We got to get everyone into SmackDown. We're a little bit late because you're getting in. So get yourself something. Get yourself a drink. Get yourself some snacks. Get into SmackDown. We are back here Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, whatever that equates to you. But, Nikki, let's take us out. Triple H, as usual, taking us out.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. Banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
All right, ladies and gents, it has been a great one.
Lisa, love you. Have a wonderful night.
Lisa votes as Stevenettes.
Again, me and Lisa are Stevenettes. Steven, you're overruled.
Joe Ho's saying is Jeff Jarrett blowing through all his money. They just keep going.
I don't think he's as bad as Ric Flair.
No, he just wants to wrestle.
He looks better than Rick, so why not? Again, go for that Continental Crunch Wrap belt. Maybe not Mox.
Fair enough. But it's been a great one. Thank you all. We'll see you next Friday. You do not have to go home.
But you can stay here. Goodbye.